All right. Hey, guys. I appreciate you guys having me. Been a long time since I got to see you, talk to you. Still not seeing you now, but you're seeing me. Jessica wanted me to say hello and that she thinks about you guys all the time whenever you guys' song comes on. So, yeah, thanks again for trusting me to do this for you. We're at the exterior right now. Exterior looks excellent. We've got a board and batten detail siding, and then we've got lap siding. All are composite materials. All are installed really well. The notes I've got on the exterior is going to be some paint touch up and some caulk touch up, and we can see these areas of the siding where, especially the trims, where the paint's just starting to fade. With I think it were 8-year-old house. We'll see that in an 8-year-old house. Some of the caulk joints too around windows are starting to gap and crack. It's just a couple here and there. So really, it's just a little bit of maintenance on the exterior, but nothing major at all. It looks pretty well done. As far as your concrete flat work, your patio, your driveway, your main entry, all that looks excellent too. Roof looks great. So you got up and walk the roof. You've got a 50-year architectural asphalt shingle that's up there, and it still looks pretty darn new. A little bit of granular loss, but that happens over time. Not a big concern. Everything looks well sealed up there. Around this side of the house, I'll walk over here and show you guys a couple things, and then we'll head on inside. So on the north side of the house is where I suppose I don't have to yell, do I? Because I got this thing on. The north side of your house is where the electric meter and gas meter are at. All right, so here's your electric meter. Your main disconnect's in here. It's a 150 amp disconnect. For the electric load on the house, that's more than enough. And then you got some extra spaces here, and there was some extra space in the electrical panel in the garage too if you needed to add something. Like a hot tub maybe. And then right here is where your gas meter's at, and on the left side of that is where your gas shutoff valve is at. It's the thing here that's when it's parallel with the pipe, it's on. When it's perpendicular to the pipe, it's off. Further down this way is where your AC condenser's at. AC system's running beautifully. That looks to be adequately sized. So when I finalize the report, I'll check to see the tonnage on that and just make sure that it is sized right. But initial glance, it looks like it's sized okay. And then your disconnect for that AC is right there. Your dryer exhaust vent comes out this side over here. Really easy access, short run to your dryer, so easy to clean. And just make sure you're cleaning that, annually. Okay, let's head on inside. Okay, bonus room. Nice space up here. And everything up here looks good. So as I'm going through, I'm checking outlets, switches, windows, doors, you name it. Everything's working like it's supposed to. For the most part, I got an adjustment mentioned on your closet door here. It's just this ball catch here gets a little bound up. Needs some adjustment. Oh gosh, that's on camera, isn't it?
Coach doesn't know his own strength.
Oh, that just goes right on. There we go. So got a note there. That's okay. That just comes off anyway. Windows are Geldman windows. You got sliders, and then you've got single hungs at places downstairs. All the windows work like they're supposed to. Geldman makes a good product. All the glass looks to be intact. You got multiple attic accesses up here. This one here, and there's also one in that closet over there. They're still sealed up. They're all caulked and sealed and painted over. This one wasn't. So I did open this one and took a look back there. Your insulation back there looks great. You got fiberglass bat insulation up against the walls. And then we got the garage below us, right? So over the garage ceiling, it's fiberglass bat insulation there too. This is a thermostat just for the zone up here, just for the bonus area. Bathroom here, things look good. One thing I noticed, which is a maintenance thing, is we got a little bit of Radix spraying here on this faucet. That's often just from a little bit of buildup inside the aerator. And there's a special tool for this type of fixture. You can buy them at the hardware store, but it'll turn that aerator and pop it out, and then you just tap it out and then put it back in. So not a big deal, just something that happens every once in a while. All right, let's head downstairs. Master bathroom. All right, so in the master closet is where your crawl space access is at. And crawl space looks pretty good. I do have a note down there for the crawl space not being conditioned. So because there's no foundation vents on the outside, and we have that crawl space sealed up nice and tight. So we have fiberglass insulation with the Class 1 vapor barrier on the interior perimeter of the foundation wall, plus the vapor barrier over the crawl space floor. So it's sealed up nice and tight. We need to condition that space just to help regulate moisture and keep things nice and dry down there. And the way that's typically done is there's a register, the same types of registers that you'll see in your floor for your forced air system in the living space. Same thing will go down there, and it'll just supply some of that conditioned air into the crawl space and it keeps it nice and dry. So easy to get that done. I don't see any sign of any moisture issues at this time, just more or less for longevity and also just per standards it should have that conditioning down there. Your furnace is down there. Your furnace was running great. It was responsive to thermostat for heating and cooling. I did get to see the flame with the unit as it was operating. Flame looks good. The filter is down there on the furnace, so it's just to the right side of the furnace anyway. And that's where you got to go to change it, obviously. So make sure that you can get in there periodically every 4 to 6 months at least. But the filter that's in there right now does need to be cleaned or just replaced, excuse me. Easy just to slip the one out that's in and put a new one in there. With your crawl space is inside your crawl space is where your main water shutoff is at. So when you get down there, you're going to crawl back towards, and it's not a very far crawl, but back towards the front of the house. And you'll see the community or the water supply coming out of the ground, goes to the meter, and then just before the meter or just after the meter, there's valves on each side. Either of those valves will shut the water off to everything, which is always good to know. And for Middle Creek, your irrigation, if I remember right, irrigation is a community system, so there's no valve, in the crawl space or at the exterior to shut off the irrigation. I believe that's on the outside somewhere from which the HOA takes care of, but something you'll confirm. Water supply, all your fixtures in here, everything looks great. We got great pressure throughout. No sign of any leakage anywhere. I ran water at all the fixtures for several minutes to see if I'm going to create any leaking underneath the sinks or in the crawl space below, and everything's looking pretty good. The one place that we'll look at when we get in the garage where I did find a leak is at a drain. There's a plug inside the main drain coming from the upper level bathroom, and there's a little leak there at that plug on that drain pipe. Master bedroom, again, things look really good. The one note I've gotten here is the shades. So these shades, you've got a lot of them that have the pull strings, but then you've got the ones in the master and then the ones in the living room that have remote control. They're battery operated or power operated. And I could not find a remote for these shades. The same remote that operates the shades out there did not operate the shades in here. So hopefully they've still got that remote kicking around somewhere. And if they don't, you can buy a remote and just get it programmed for the shades too. The radon monitor is sitting here. I'll pick that up in a couple days. It'll give us the results. You do have an active radon mitigation system in place. I see the fan when I get in the attic access that's in the hallway over there by the other bedrooms. And the fan's really close to that attic access. The fan's running, and when I look at the system in the crawl space, that pipe comes down to the crawl space and goes underneath the vapor barrier. It's sealed really tight around the vapor, or the vapor barrier is sealed really tight around the pipe. But it's drawing air mostly from that south side of the house. That pipe, they do run it all the way over here. But as far as the draw on it, it's drawing air and the vapor barrier is sucked to the pipe. On that side of the house, when you get over to this side of the house, the vapor barrier is still a little loose, which is okay. But we want to see, I guess, if this area might have a little higher radon than that side of the house. So that's why we've got radon monitors set over here instead of in the middle or over there. Smoke detectors are everywhere they're supposed to be. So you've got them in all the bedrooms, plus common areas. And then you've got carbon monoxide detectors at the common area, smoke detectors as well. So they're combo units. And then I noticed that the sellers, previous owners or occupants, they had carbon monoxide battery operated ones several different places. One here, there's a couple that are plugged in other places too. These ones that are up there, those are more than adequate. For a long time we believed that carbon monoxide was heavier than air and it sank, but actually that's not true. It mixes really well. So whether you have a carbon monoxide up top or down low, It really doesn't matter. It's just your preference. All right, let's talk about garage, and we'll come back into the mudroom and then into the living space, the main living space. So garage looks really good. You've got the MyQ, which is it's an app that you download on your phone, and once you're set up with Wi-Fi in the house, you can open your garage doors from anywhere. But the garage door openers work great. They've got the required safety sensors, no issues there. The irrigation control panel is in the garage here. So this is where you'll set your run times for your zones. And this system is still on, so that tells me it hasn't been winterized yet. So coming up soon, it should be. Don't know if the car charger stays or not, but I don't know if that's a permanent fixture anyway. We've got the outlet here if ever you guys needed to install a car charger too, if they take that one with. All right, here's your water heater closet. Water heater looks good. That's a 50-gallon unit, 2015 manufacture date on it, so it's still got some years of life left to it. It's producing hot water just fine. In the back, that drain in that back corner is the one that this plug down here for the access has got a slow leak to it. And I observed it leaking today. So it's an active leak whenever we're running water upstairs at the bathroom in the bonus room. So pretty simple to take care of that too. Just some sealing around that plug to make sure it doesn't leak. Electrical panel looks great. Everything's labeled like it's supposed to. I did remove the dead front and looked at all the wiring back there. It's clean and well done. The one thing I do have noted with the electrical system is the kitchen outlets. So your kitchen counter outlets, we're supposed to have, standards want to see two dedicated outlets for two dedicated circuits for just the countertop outlets, right? So there is two circuits. However, the island circuit with those outlets is also the same outlet that the dishwasher and the disposal are plugged into. Now, the dishwasher and disposal should have their own outlet, a dedicated circuit outlet for those as well. And then on the range side, those outlets that are on the backsplash there are also the same outlet, same circuit as to which the outlet that the microwave is plugged into. And again, usually those will be, our standards want to see those separated, just so you have dedicated outlets at each of those appliances. Is it a major issue? Likely not. Would you ever see a problem from it? I suppose if you had everything, if you had little appliances plugged into everything and you're running a cycle in your dishwasher, using your disposal, you might trip it. Same thing with the other side with your microwave. If you're running your microwave and you're running small appliances off those outlets, you could trip it. But I'm not so worried about the safety part of it as much as I am just the use of it and the function. The door here, so as far as fire separation between a garage and living space, these doors are supposed to have automatic closing hinges for that fire separation requirement. This one doesn't have those hinges on there, those spring hinges. I see a lot of people remove them or deactivate them, so which I get it. The door's always closing on you when you're carrying groceries in. Just one of those things I'm required to tell you that it's not quite to standards. To me, that's a low priority item, not a big deal. These two appliances, clothes washer and dryer. I don't operate clothes washer and dryer. The only two appliances I don't operate. As everything I can tell looks like they're in good condition. I don't see any signs of leakage or anything like that. As far as your dryer hookup, on the back side here, there was just, there's both electric, Yeah, there was electric and gas back here, is what it looks like to me. So, but the dryer they've got in here right now is a gas dryer. Which Jessica and I prefer gas dryers. The one we've got is gas, and it just dries much faster. All right, so here in the hallway is where your thermostat is at for the main level. It's a nice thermostat, works great. And I have the AC running right now, and it's cooling down the house pretty quick. This thermostat, I don't believe is in use anymore. So I think this was the thermostat for the fireplace at one time. Well, now they've got a remote thermostat that's sitting up on top of the mantle, which it wasn't working today. Battery said they needed new batteries, so I swapped batteries, and it still wasn't working the way it's supposed to. It wasn't turning on the fireplace. Neither was this one. So, but there is a manual switch underneath the fireplace. I was able to turn it on, at least know that it flames up. So the thermostat might just need some programming or something like that. And then this one, leave it in place, I suppose, or remove it if it's not needed. All right, as far as your kitchen appliances, they all work like they're supposed to. I ran a cycle through the dishwasher. Garbage disposal is controlled by the switch on the backside here. That works great. Your range, everything here works like it's supposed to. Got the oven up 350 degrees, all the burners light. It has the required anti-tip device for child safety. Your microwave works great. As far as the exhaust function with it, it just recirculates the air right out the top of it. It doesn't exhaust to the outside, which is pretty common, and it's okay. Your refrigerator, so whenever I was testing the water and the ice function here, it says that the water filter and the air filter need to be replaced. There's also the options button here tells me the ice maker's on. Well, there's no ice sitting in the bin. So I wonder if that's a result of the filters needing replacement. So I'd say that's where you start. Replace the water filter and the air filter and see if it'll start to make ice again. It is dispensing water. It just wasn't making ice or dispensing ice. As far as your cabinetry looks pretty good throughout. The one cabinet door that needs a little repair is this one here. That screw came off of the jamb, and it probably just got stripped out. Simple solution: dip a couple toothpicks in some wood glue, shove them in there, break them off, and then you'll have something where that screw can rethread. All right. I did notice there's quite a few blemishes in the wall where they had some things hanging up. Nothing that I'm concerned about or going to mention. It's cosmetic stuff, but there was quite a few of those spots throughout the house. All right, so your shades in here, you got power shades on the patio door. You got power shades here. The ones up top, they got packs up there for operation for power shades, but the ones up top were not opening today. So I'm wondering if the battery packs just need to be replaced. We've got those types of shades in our house, and we got to replace those batteries a couple times a year. So this is, and their dog, or somebody's dog, at least I hope it was a dog, not a kid or anybody chewing on that, but that got chewed on, but that is the remote for the shades. And like I said, it worked for the main shades in here and then also the patio door. Did not work for the shades in the master. This remote is for this light fixture in the living room here. There's several switches in the house that don't operate anything, and my assumption is that one time that fixture had a switch for the light and then a switch for the fan. Well, then they swapped the fixture out, changed it to remote operation, and is why there's a switch now that doesn't operate anything. It didn't operate any of the outlets either. Same with a switch here at the front. There's one on the right that I assume operated or was a three-way switch with the garage lights. But what they did is they put these timers on the front entry lights, and then also the garage lights have a timer as well in the garage. So I think that's probably what happened here is that one's no longer in use. Same with another switch in the garage because they just went to a timer instead of having a three-way switching capability. You do have soffit outlets at the front here, and then also at the patio there's a soffit outlet, and you have switches. There's a switch back by that door and a switch right here that turn on those soffit outlets, so you easy control your Christmas lights and stuff like that from each of those locations. Office looks good. There was, I think this was one of the only doors that needed adjustment for the latch. Yeah, it just doesn't latch. And there was a couple doors too, or one door that rubbed really bad at the jamb too, just needs some adjustment so it's not going to rub paint and damage and whatnot. Low priority type stuff. All right, the two guest bedrooms here, again, things look great. No issues. Switches, light switches, fixtures, outlets, windows, everything's working like it's supposed to. In this bathroom, I had one note for just some caulk, caulk against the tub faucet. That the tub faucet upstairs in the bonus room is really well caulked to the wall. This one has no caulk at the wall whatsoever. So I want to caulk that, make sure that if water's hitting the wall, it's not finding that penetration. And then this shower head was leaking really good at this union. Probably just needs a little Teflon tape or be secured a little better. So, water was draining, hitting the wall, and, potential to getting that penetration. So a little bit of caulk there, and then get that tuned up, make sure it's working great. Yeah, bedroom. Again, things are looking really good. That attic access for the main attic is right here in this hallway. Right up there. So, and I got up in there, got across all the way over to above the master. And then once you get to that bonus room, you can't get passage to those little spots to the bonus room. I can see that there is insulation tucked up, where the walls of the bonus room are at. Over the main area here, your insulation is a loose fill insulation, fiberglass loose fill. It's sitting between anywhere from, it was between 17 to 20 inches. So we're R49 and even better at some places in the attic, which is great. Montana Energy Code requirement is R49. Ventilation up there looks really good. Structure looks really good. Attic's great. I think let me look at notes here, make sure I've not missed anything. I did have one more note on the furnace. So since the furnace is a high efficiency unit and you've got the AC coils down there, they create condensation. That condensation goes into a reservoir and then pumps it up into the waste system. Whenever we put those condensate pumps in an uninhabitable space like the crawl space, it's supposed to have an alarm or a connection to the thermostat to tell you that if there's ever an issue with it. I've been in some houses where those pumps do fail over time and that water just goes to the floor, which we don't want that unwanted moisture in the crawl space, and is the reason why we need the alarm or the connection to the thermostat to let you know there's an issue. Pretty quick fix for an HVAC guy to get that alarm installed or get that connection made to the thermostat. What else? The master bedroom ceiling fan. When we're operating the master bedroom ceiling fan, it clicks. It clicks every time it makes a rotation when it's on high. For me, I like to sleep with the fan at night, so that would drive me nuts. So it's one of those things that, hopefully it's a quick fix and might just be a balance thing off with that down rod. But anyway, I got that noted in here too. But that's my list, guys. Like I said, it's a nice place. It's what I've got is the one red flag I'll have, or the one major item I've got is going to be that drain that's leaking in the water heater closet, just because of the nature of what that drain, the stuff that comes down that pipe. Want to get that sealed up sooner than later. But other than that, everything else is going to be, a medium to low priority. So maintenance and some minor repair. It's a really nice place, guys. Congratulations.